Hey everyone, welcome back to BeamNG Drive. There's a few things in the last couple of videos that I missed that I want to come back and show you guys, and it includes, on this thing, the skid plates, which you can see there, which we will take for a test drive in a second. There's also the turbo buttons that I was told by you guys, the T and G keys on my keyboard will just make the, that big spinny thing that destroys all the things that I was using. I'll show you if you don't know what I mean. It could go faster than I had it going, apparently. So we'll definitely have to check that out again. And we could also change gravity's weight. Gravity's, we can have negative gravity, or moon gravity, or the gravity of the sun, which of course just like crushes the cars into the ground pretty much. But that's something I knew existed, but I completely forgot about. There's also a couple new vehicles. I'm in the experimental version, by the way. And of course there's some renderer settings that I think need to be checked out very soon. Alright, so this car with the skid plates isn't really anything too important. It's very hard to control, even when you're going in a relatively straight line. The back end likes to slide up beside you, which I didn't really expect to happen, but it does. I didn't think the back end would be trying to go faster than the front end, which it seems like that's happening. I wonder if you can drive it backwards though any easier. Of course the camera's going to want to flip around. Well, if you want to drive in a straight line, driving backwards is apparently easier. Oh, that messed up the skid plates there. But, oh well, that's about it for that car. Let's go ahead, Control E, and jump into another vehicle here. Let's get into, oh, I don't know, I guess we'll go with the Sunburst, because I kind of like that thing now. The rally version, because why not? Man, it is off already. And let's go for the big loop-de-loop here. I haven't tried this in a long time. Oh, no, no, no. Ooh. Haha. Well, we made it around the loop, and believe it or not, that's actually the first time I've successfully done that. I've tried it like a dozen times, and I just managed to somehow get it when I recorded it. That almost never happens. That almost never happens that way. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to get a couple of vehicles set up here, and I'll meet back with you. Well, 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 look what we have here. They have actually went ahead and added a big wall around the outside of this thing, as well as a ramp, which I noticed with Control W to bring up the parts list, you can go ahead and remove the spinner. You can turn that down to just a double one if you want, so there's just the two spinny thingies. That's the technical name, right? Or you can go back to your 4, which it doesn't like to do. Let's go try going into that again. Quad. There we go. Sometimes you have to exit this part management menu and go back into it for your changes to take effect, it seems. So I don't know what's up with that, but you can remove the ramp if you want to for whatever reason too, and remove the wall and all that stuff. So what I was told by you guys is that I can use T and G on my keyboard rather than just the directional keys to make this thing spin faster. So quiet phone. So what did you guys tell me? F10? Better be the right key. Switch to windowed mode. I don't wanna. I'm just noticing when I hit the P key, it toggles the parking brake on and off, but it also opens and closes the doors, which is kinda neat because we can actually load vehicles into this thing now. We don't have to try to bust through the doors or manually remove the doors completely, which is nice. And I'm dying here. Oh, jeez. Alright, I will live, I promise. So let's get this thing up to speed. This is like a tap number 40, including a couple blue screens, or one blue screen actually so far. Hopefully that's the only one that becomes anything. I have on the truck that I'm using there, the T65 cargo box uplift, because they added a few variations of that thing, including a flatbed, which we'll have to check out later. They did stuff. I had to remove the fuel tank on the bottom to hopefully get it over top of this lip at the top, so it won't get stuck again. I hope. That's the hope. So let's see if it gets stuck on its way up. It made it. Very nice. Parts are flying everywhere. Uh-oh. I fear that we broke the game. This thing is deformed. I thought the thing was supposed to be like solid concrete or something, and our truck has respawned itself in one piece, so it's a magical truck of now floatiness. That's very interesting. I did not see this thing deforming. It must... wow. Is it supposed to be metal or stone in the game? I thought it was stone, but maybe it's not. Whatever it is, I don't think it should be bending like that. But yeah, the whole game's frozen. I don't know if I can resume physics or not. Let me find out. Oh, jeez. I resume physics. Spin this thing up just because we can't. It's bent. Just slightly bent. Too bad I couldn't put one of these on the back of a truck. It's too big, it won't fit. Oh, it's off balance. And run one that's spinning on the back of the truck into one that isn't spinning on the, or one that is spinning in the opposite direction on the ground. Yeah, this thing's off balance. This thing's actually bent. I wasn't sure if it could physically be bent here, but it was like an indestructible material they had made. But you can see that bar right there at the bottom underneath my camera is very much flattened, and this thing's kind of twisted. I can't look straight up or straight down at it. Very neat, very neat. Alright, so let me introduce you guys to some of the new variants. Some of these you'll have seen before, and I may have missed them too. But these are the the frame rate hurting trucks here. These are the worst for frame rates, but still work in progress, so hopefully that'll get better. So we have the flatbed truck, which we have a ramp back there too that we will have to use to put a car on this thing just because we can. I don't know what we'll put on it yet. We'll try something fun, hopefully. And oop, that's the ramp. Next over we have the T65, just the car. Oh, what's the technical name? I forget the technical name. It is the fifth wheel uplift. Alright, I was thinking cargo box uplift, but I knew that was wrong. I don't have the cargo box one here just because we were just using it, and you've definitely seen it before if you've watched my other videos. And it's the exact same thing as the one to its left there, the red one, only different amount of wheels at the rear, so that's about it. I'm hoping they'll add a trailer for this thing relatively soon, but I don't think they still have the interiors of these trucks completed, if I can look around. This looks like more progress. Actually, this is the seat in here, isn't it? It doesn't look completely finished. Look at the gauges there, they're not done. But it does look like, let's go to the red one too. Yeah, they definitely made some progress since the last video I did. But there's still a lot of work to be done in here. Compared to like the Moonhawk here, which is still one of my favorite cars, just because this thing is tough. It looks decent inside. I wish there was a little bit more light where I was parked, but we'll just have to make do like this. But the reason I like this, whoops, I reset the vehicle. The reason I like the Moonhawk so much is because, oh, I keep going too far. Right there. This thing is tough. It looks decent. It's decent for power, and well, it's. Did I say it's tough yet about 3 times? Because I need to say it a few more times. Because this thing, I've beat this thing up so much by crashing it into buildings straight on that you can have the engine hang out the front and it'll still run and drive reasonably well considering. So this thing, I think in the next video, I'm going to have a demolition derby between this thing and a big rig. Because I think it can stand up to it. I kind of want to put the Sunbeam, is that what it's called? The Sunburst over here in the bottom right in Demolition Derby as well, but that thing just doesn't hold up very well. It's a very nimble and fast vehicle and fun to drive, but it's not nearly as tough as this thing. So next episode I'll have to try that out, but for now, there's a couple more things I want to try. We're done with the crash. Well, that's not necessarily true. We're done with the crashing and smashing because there's gravity to mess with here. So in our menu, we have all the typical stuff: vehicles where you can spawn your own vehicles, get to the park configuration and stuff like that. Toggle the free camera, turn physics on and off, which a lot of these things I know keyboard shortcuts for. There's also the AI stuff. If you didn't know that, you can have them attack you or run away from you and stuff like that. And as a pro tip, if you're having issues with the AI and they're not listening to you, then just hit the off button and then toggle them back to whatever you wanted them at, because that is why it says reset, because right now they just have a workaround for the AI and they are dumb and they will drive into anything that's between you and them if they're trying to get to you. Vehicle debug, not really anything that I care about. Terrain debug, same kind of idea there. Quiet phone. And the renderer is when things start to get a little bit more interesting. First off, disabling shadows, that looks weird because you lose all perspective. If you're above the ground slightly going off jumps, it would be hard to tell if you're in the air or on the ground because you don't have that shadow underneath you to kind of show you where you might be if you're off the ground. Anyway, the wireframe. I find this very neat. You can see how not only the vehicles are assembled here, but the world. You can see the sky, how it's put together. You can see the ground, if there's those things in the distance look almost solid, but they're not. It's just the wireframes. But for example, this building, the structure behind us, if we toggle on and off, you can see before and after. You can see every corner of it, so it's actually got perfectly flat sides. But for some reason, I like to look. You can see the radiator fan in there moving a little bit. I absolutely love to look at this thing and just see the wireframe model, and especially with the color. That looks neat with the colors in the truck over here. And I don't know. I just like being able to see every little polygon, I guess you'd call them, in the vehicles. And okay, now moving on, we have toggle depth visualization, and that's not really useful to us as players. Get me out of here. Get me out. There we go. Then we have... We'll get to gravity afterwards here. Normal visualization. It's just kind of like the solarized view almost, or whatever it is on your phone that you, or on your cameras that you may have. This is neat. I think this is the neatest looking thing. And of course you can drive your vehicle around still with this view enabled. Wow, I cannot see where those bumps are up ahead. There is something here. Okay, I find that very neat, to be honest. And this is also kind of neat. It's almost the opposite though, but it's very dark. Well, hence the opposite of white is black, so... I'm not sure. Actually, I haven't tried this. Can we combine multiple? So wireframe. Oh yeah, we can combine those. I don't know why we'd want to, but we can. Alright, so let's respawn this thing. Okay, it did spawn inside another vehicle. I was right about that. We won't look at the effects here. But environment. Now, this is when things get interesting. There is gravity. So, as you can see here, we can go ahead and choose 0 gravity. Things start to float up because... back down to Earth gravity. We can, there's weight on the suspension, so when you go down to 0 gravity and suddenly what's on top of the suspension doesn't weigh anything, the suspension jumps upwards, or pushes the truck upwards. So that's why 0 gravity makes things very suddenly fly straight up. If we go to 0 gravity, and to moon, back to 0, then everything kind of floats downwards until it hits the ground and bounces back up again. So let's go to moon gravity to put it down gently, and once it's on the ground, Earth. So we can also adjust the gravity manually there, but everyone know what the gravity is like on Mars or something? So this moon gravity, it's negative 1.62. Mars has more gravity. Of course, the Sun and Jupiter are gonna have the most because they have the largest mass. Neptune is apparently a little bit bigger mass-wise than Earth. I don't know the exact sizes of all the planets. I know what order they're in, but I don't know the exact weights and all that jazz. Negative Earth is interesting because, well, no. Oh God. Set us down gently, moon gravity. Oh wow, we made it. We went up really high, really fast. Coming back down for the crash. And Earth gravity. Oh, that I hurt the vehicle, and the camera is just flipping back and forth. All of our vehicles are pointing sideways now. So Jupiter now, everything gets a little bit heavier on its suspension compared to Earth gravity. So Earth versus Jupiter, and all the way down to Sun gravity, where everything just kind of gets pushed into the ground. And there's no chance of a vehicle moving at this point. And I'm going to switch over to the Moonhawk, which we have here. So we are unable to move with this much gravity. You can see the roof's getting dented and everything. I think it's better to see damage on the Moonhawk as opposed to the transports there, for example. So at Jupiter gravity, I think we can still drive around. Yeah. And the driving physics are kind of weird at that. Let's reset the vehicle just because I think it's damaged from everything else and I want to have it kind of accurate. So we can steer very well. We don't drift as we take corners at high speeds because those tires are gripping with that much gravity. I should go off a little jump or something just to see what happens. Let's get that one's kind of behind me. Where is it? There it is. I think we lost our, yep. Alright, so yeah, that definitely broke our drive shaft. However, I think that's about it I have to show you today. So we'll end at a nice crash here. Let's go ahead and go to negative Earth gravity. Everything's going to float way up. Very quickly, as if it was falling, only upwards. Is there a top of the world? I should find that out right now, I guess. Everything's flipping upside down. Must be aerodynamically how it, or maybe not even aerodynamically, but just the way everything's weighted. Here's stuff colliding. Where's the ground? I can't point the camera downwards. It will not let me. What's that sparkle? Oh, it's just lens flares. Thought it was some magical sphere up in the sky. Wow. Alright, let's crash it down to Earth. I'm going to cycle the recording because I have a funny feeling the whole game's going to crash at this point when it hits the ground. And when the game crashes, my recording breaks. So, let's go ahead and sun gravity. Man, we cannot see the ground. We're that high up. We are falling so fast it's ripping our car apart in midair. Here comes the ground. Oh man. Wow. We did not see the impact. We have broke the game. All right. I have a feeling we're in the ground right now or something, but the textures are all ripped apart. The game did not like that. There was a big lag spike shortly before it hit the ground there. I imagine you saw exactly what I saw, and then all of a sudden just bloop, we're underground or wherever we are now. Let's go back to Earth gravity and respawn this thing. Oh. What is that big thing going up? I think we broke the game by doing that. I'm not surprised. Sun gravity. Oh, right. Earth gravity. The physics have... Oh. The physics have broken. They don't want to resume. When I did resume, this vehicle respawned. I don't know why the big rig's there. It must have respawned itself when the game crashed. Alright, this game is not liking me, so before it crashes again, I will say goodbye. That was interesting. Alright. See you later, guys. Next time we'll do a demolition derby or something a little bit more smashy, because I know people like to see the crashing in this game, because that's what this game's all about, with its soft body physics. So, thank you everybody for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.